Hi, friends. I've got some good news and some not really bad news, but not so great news. Let's start with the good news. This morning, I got an email from TwinX, and I will be starting my onboarding, which is basically learning their platform so I can teach on the TwinX platform. I got an email from them saying that I'll start that in 4 days from now. So I'm excited about that. A little nervous, but at the same time, I really want to teach. So I'm very excited. It's been 17 days since I last heard from them. So they are very slow at it's a very slow process if you want to get on TwinX's platform, but I think they're very they're picky, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe they have a lot of applicants. They've said they've had a lot of applicants to go through. But anyway, I'm very fortunate that I got an email. Very excited to start learning their platform and start teaching. And TwinX, if you're unfamiliar with them, they are unlike Preply or iTalki or any of those where you basically set up a profile and then you wait for students um, to ask you for a lesson. TwinX instead, they just assign students to you so you can teach right away. I love this idea. The pay is a bit lower, and but over time, you can make more money with them. So I'm very excited about that. Um, and I just mainly want to teach English and to help people learn English. That's the main thing. So excited to just do their onboarding. Do that in a few days. I'll do another update video so I can let you know how that went. And I'll also let you know how my first lesson goes. So there's that. That's the good news. Very excited about that. And now for the not so good news. A few days ago, I got an email from iTalki. And I don't know if you watched my last video where I mentioned I finally was able to finish my application with iTalki because just before I hit the submit button to send it previously, they had cut off all applicants for teaching English. So when they finally opened that back up again, I finished my application. But then it was days ago, they sent me an email saying they did not accept me to teach on their platform. And I think it's funny, they didn't really give me a reason, but my gut feeling is because I don't have any teaching experience. Yes, I have certification. However, they're probably looking for people with a lot more experience and picking them first. And that's understandable. I mean, anybody that hires any employee probably wants to pick the people they think would be the best candidates for the job to start. That's not to say that people that lack experience aren't great candidates. It's just it gives them a little more. They're a little more comfortable that this person's had some experience and they can handle the job. Anyway, so there's that. I did not get accepted to italki. And the funny thing is, I'm actually kind of relieved because, it'd be another situation like Preply. So I was a bit nervous on actually joining them from the start because I was thinking, I left Preply because I didn't like the whole idea of you waiting around for students to pick you to teach them. And I didn't like all of the crazy competition amongst tutors where they're really lowering their prices to get students. It's just not a good situation for teachers, especially new teachers. I don't think it's very fair. I think they should change both of those platforms and offer something for new teachers to help them get started. But it's up to them to do something about that in order to help their hiring. But I don't know, who knows? Maybe they get an overload of very experienced tutors, so it's not a big issue for them. Who knows? Anyway, very excited to be moving forward with TwinX, and that's kind of where things stand. I think in my last video I mentioned the 2 other platforms that that I applied to. One of them was Ingu, and I think I got an email. I think I mentioned that, where they weren't really hiring, but they liked my initial application, and they're gonna, once they start hiring again, or opening up hiring, they'll get back to me. And I forgot the name of the other one, but they, I believe they're another platform, kind of like Preply or iTalki. I'll have to look at them again, and I'll mention them in a new video, especially if they get back to me. But everyone's so slow at getting back to you. So anyway, moving forward with TwinX, very excited about that. If you're unfamiliar with them, the majority of the students come from either Spain or Italy, so I got to focus on those time zones, and make sure I'm available to teach for whenever those students are in most need of, or the time that's best for them to take a lesson, is what I'm trying to say. So I'll have to check into that. Hopefully, when I do the onboarding, they'll give me some more insight and some of their best practices and what I should do regarding setting up my availability. And I imagine it's probably not that dissimilar from Preply's when I did their onboarding, and just basically had to learn the platform and how I can pull up lessons and things like that. And if I needed support and all those things, they get you up to speed. So that's basically what onboarding is anyway. So anyway, very excited. And if you're in the same boat as me, you're looking for work, you're a new ESL teacher, I wish you all the best, and keep plugging away out there. I know it's kind of a waiting game in some of these platforms. I'm also kind of leaning towards setting up my own website to do independent teaching. So that's kind of on the horizon. I'd have liked to eventually get to that point where I could be on a platform that I really like, but at the same time do independent teaching if I can find some students through either social media or other venues. There's a lot of other independent teachers out there that have YouTube channels, and trying to watch some of those and get some insight on how they get their students, and how they manage payments and all of that good stuff. Anyway, if you're still looking for work, wish you all the best. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.